Email from R. Dellinger, Deputy Minister, invitation to meet and discuss the 2018 floods and wildfires during UBCM. Item 8AG, an email from S. Thorne, Operations Manager of Valemount Safe Shelter, Coordinator, Robbs Valley Sports Society, a request for letter of support for their application for continuance of Work BC services in the Robson Valley. Item 10B, a ribbon cutting event for the Clean Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Project Grant, Dominion Creek Drinking Water Intake Replacement. 10C, invitations to RCMP, local detachment, and fire department to provide update to council. 10D, UBCM schedule of conflict, Tuesday, September 11th, 2018, BC Assessment and the Minister of Agriculture. Item 10E, UBCM schedule of conflict, Tuesday, September 11th, Ministry of Education and the MIA BC Annual General Meeting. And 10F, UBCM schedule of conflict, Thursday, September 13th, Forestry Resource Breakfast and the LGMA-CAO Breakfast. So can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Thank you, Councillor Ruby. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. The next item is the reading and adoption of minutes. So a motion that the minutes from the August 14th, 2018 regular council meeting be adopted as presented or amended.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any corrections? Okay, hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor as presented? Carried. Next one is a motion that the minutes of the August 21st, 2018 special council meeting be adopted as amended or presented. Can I get a mover and a seconder on those, please?
So moved. I'll second.
Thank you. Any corrections? Okay, all in favor as presented? Carried. Fourth one is petitions and delegations. We have none. Fifth is questions from the public and the press. We have none. I might as well just give that right back to you because you're going to need it. And then we move on to unfinished business. There's a report to council on recreational cannabis temporary prohibition. The motion is for council to receive the report. Can I get a mover and a seconder on it?
I'll do that.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion, did you want to bring us up to date on that?
Sure. At a previous regular council meeting, we had discussed bringing prohibition bylaw forward. So this talks about the reasons why we would do that, which has to do with the fact that we're still waiting for the province to, unfold the legislation and perhaps even particular policy related to rural communities. And also we want to be able to give the community an opportunity to be part of the engagement process, to get their opinion and input before we would go ahead with any recommendations as far as how we want to roll that out for our community. It's quite a large culture shift. And it gives us time to work with a consultant to help us facilitate that engagement process. So right now we've presented amendments to our zoning and our business license bylaw for the prohibition of cannabis to be sold, non-medical cannabis, recreational cannabis to be sold in a retail form in McBride. And that's just temporary. It's only a temporary prohibition.
Okay.
Until other decisions are made.
Does council have any questions of the CAO on her report? No? Okay. I'll Call the question then. All in favor of receipt, oh, sorry, did you have your hand up to vote or a question?
I had a question.
Okay.
So we're talking about temporary, do we have any idea how long, when we're going to be getting information that we want from the province? Is there a timeline on that?
Yeah, there's no timeline on that, and the province has not put a timeline on communities as far as a deadline for, determining how a community wants to proceed with any policies or bylaws or zoning amendments related to retail cannabis sales. So right now, I just talking with our consultant today, who we're considering, she recommended that perhaps we do this temporary prohibition. We probably at the public hearing would give us an idea of how soon we need to move ahead with it, and probably best till we do that after the election.
Okay.
Any further questions? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor of receipt? Carried. Next item on the agenda is our report. So Councillor Thompson has delivered a report, and the CFO has delivered a revenue and expenditure report as of July 31st, 2018. Can I please get a motion to receive the reports for information?
I'll move this.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. I can see you got a question. Here we go ahead.
If I could, I need to go back to the report, if I could, go backwards. Is there a further motion that we should be doing in there with regard to first and second reading?
They come later in the agenda?
Yeah, the actual bylaws will be later
Oh,
in the
okay,
agenda.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
good question though.
We're on the road too long.
Yeah.
Okay, call the question then. All in favor to receive the reports? I got 1, 2. Receipt of the reports for information, council reports, carried. All right, so we'll move on to correspondence requiring action. The first one is an invitation to BC Council of Forest Industries 2018 Kofi Community Reception Dinner starting at 5:45 p.m. Tuesday, September 18th in Prince George, BC. Administration is seeking confirmation of attendance by council members. So Councillor Edwards, did you want to put your hand up for that as you're our representative for the community forest?
I normally would, but I'm trying to keep as many dates open as possible for my sister's memorial.
Okay.
And so I'm reluctant to put my name. I would normally want to go to that, and I'd be happy to go on behalf of council, but at this time I'm not going to put my name forward.
Okay, I would definitely put my name forward to go to. Do we know how many? It used to be 2 representatives that were allowed to go. Is there any confirmation on that?
Yeah, we'd have to make an inquiry. It doesn't, in the invitation, it doesn't indicate
Okay. Councillor
what he
Green?
is.
Is there some way we can put Councillor Edwards' name in, and if he's unable to attend, then substitute somebody else?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because then if that's the case, I'd still like Councillor Edwards to attend, but I could probably make time to attend in his place if he's not able to.
And I'd put my name forward as well for that. I think the problem that we're going, that's at 5:45, is we also have the ribbon cutting ceremony that day
Yes, at 11 o'clock. in
at
the
11
morning.
o'clock, yeah. All right, so should we just leave that up to administration then? And to come back with that, we have till September 10th, the 7th, I believe, to respond, right?
Yeah, well, we can take care of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excuse me. The next one is an email from I, Trudell, Administrative Assistant at the Board of Northern Health, regarding an invitation to attend a meeting with the CEO Kathy Ulrich and Northern Health Board Chair Colleen Neese during the 2018 convention. Administration is seeking confirmation of attendance by members of council and suggests scheduling for the afternoon of September 13th, time dependent on the availability of Northern Health. So, Councillor Ruby?
I would love to meet with them if we could do that without conflict of scheduling.
Okay. I would also like to meet with them if it doesn't conflict with my schedule. I think most of us probably would.
Sherry, we were wide open on Thursday afternoon, weren't we?
No, it was Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, Wednesday afternoon,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we will arrange the schedules so that, or I will send something out to everyone if it's a conflict in something that, say, the small
Okay.
talk forum or something.
Sure. I'm assuming Councillor Edwards and Councillor Thompson would also want to attend that if available, so all of council?
You heard my head nodding.
Yes. All of council.
All right, so the next one is an email from Al Bateman, Office and Event Manager, Clean Energy BC, regarding an invitation to attend the Clean Energy BC 8th Annual UBCM Reception, Tuesday, September 11th, from 7:30 to 10:30. Administration is seeking confirmation of attendance by members of council, though only scheduling conflicts with UBCM welcome reception from 6:30 to 8:30. Is there anyone that wishes to attend that as opposed to going to the, well, you could go to the welcome reception for an hour and then run to the other one. So, anybody want to attend the clean energy event?
Yes,
Councillor
I'll
Edwards?
attend the
Okay.
energy event.
Clean energy as well, so, but at some point, we're gonna need to have a master schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do. We're working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody else to attend the clean energy? You, Councillor Ruby?
Because Tuesday's difficult, isn't it?
I think every single day is
Not at
stacking up
night.
to be
No,
difficult.
not in the evening.
Evenings,
Yeah.
not so much. There's other
Yeah.
receptions that night as well, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we have 3 confirmed for that, Sheila? All right, so I'll move on to the next page. D is the Robson Valley Backcountry Horsemen of British Columbia, a request for a donation towards the 8th annual poker ride on the weekend of September 15th, 2018. Motion reads that council approve a donation of $75 towards purchasing a prize for the RVBC HBC's annual fundraising event.
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
thank you. Discussion? Okay, call the question then. All in favor? Carried. The next one is an email from me regarding the meeting with Kelty Barlow, Health Services Administrator at Robson Valley, McBride, and Valemount. Administration is seeking confirmation of the date and attendance by members for either September 18th, which is booking up, or the 25th. I think it's going to have to be the 25th.
Yeah, that's our next regular council meeting too.
And this is from 12 to 1.
That was based on Kelty Barlow's schedule.
Okay. Is anyone else available to come in on the September 25th for a lunch meeting?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, my calendar's open as well.
Okay.
I think I'm also available.
Okay. It's 4 to 5.
I won't be able to do that one.
Okay, so. And the rest of council.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse me. F is one of our late items, an email from R. Dellinger, Deputy Minister, invitation to meet and discuss the 2018 floods and wildfires at UBCM. Administration is seeking confirmation of attendance by members of council and suggests scheduling for the afternoon of Wednesday, September 12th, time dependent on the availability of EMBC. Yes, of course.
We've already developed daily schedules for everyone, and that's how we're able to determine what our conflicts are. So actually, the afternoon of Wednesday is wide open from 2:30 onwards, because we just like to know who would like to attend, and we'll schedule that for everyone.
Okay, I'll put my name up for that one. Wildfires, I think pretty much all of us. All of council in for that one? Okay, all of council for that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Email, the next one, G, is email from S. Thorne, Operations Manager of Valemount Safe Shelter Coordinator, Robson Valley Support Society. Request for a letter of support for their application for the continuation of Work BC services in the Robson Valley. Motion that council provide a letter of support to the Robson Valley Support Society for their application to continue to offer Work BC services in the Robson Valley.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
Thank you. Discussion? Councillor Thompson, then Councillor Ruby.
I'm strongly in support of this. I'm just looking. I don't see the email.
Shelley, do you have the email?
It should be in your new package, the one that was
Oh,
waiting. It's
yeah.
not in that's one of your lead items.
Okay,
So red.
sorry, got it. Okay, so my question is, and I'm just, is the request to include Work BC services in McBride and Valemount? Because I think we need to strongly support any application that supports the continuation of Work BC services in both McBride and Valemount. And I would be cautious if there was any move to change the services to one location only. So I don't see that in here, but
Yeah,
I would-
it's not even it does talk about supports in the communities and in surrounding Valemount and McBride for over 38 years, and currently offers the following programs. So I don't believe there's any change to the current structure. It's in support of all services being provided. But we can clarify that.
So I think that when and if a letter of support is approved, that it be strongly worded that offices for WorkSafe be located in both Valemount and McBride.
Thank you.
No, was that was my question, because it didn't look to me like what Brian was mentioned.
Well, they could very well be getting a support from Village of Valemount as well.
But I would like to see that we know that it means McBride as well.
I'm sure you could contact them and then draft the letter accordingly.
Mm-hmm, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
Just for clarification, because the WorkSafe, or
Work BC.
It's
Work BC is currently contracted to Valemount, and then it's subcontracted to RVSS here through the Valemount Learning Center.
Well, they do have Work BC and McBride in quotations in their, excuse me, in their email.
Mhm. I'm strongly in support. I just want to make sure that we emphasize that we want
Yes.
it in both locations.
Okay.
Noted, yeah.
Councillor Edwards?
Yeah, I support that. We want the services to be in both communities, but I can see that in order to save money administratively, it may make sense to administer it in one town or the other. So my concern is to make sure that the services are offered in both communities. And so I think that's worth following up on, as Councillor Thompson's and Councillor Ruby are saying, that we want to support that, provided we get the service that we're interested in.
My concern with that is we don't have any authority to do that for Valemount, so I feel that if they've asked McBride for a letter of support, we give them a letter of support to continue it in McBride and allow RVSS to do their job and follow through on the Valemount end of things, as that would be their village council for their village council to deal with. So that's my note. Councillor Green, did you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, Robson Valley sort of covers that whole issue for McBride and Belmont. So the question is did we want to get more specific as per the recommendation by Councillor Thompson, or do we want to leave it at Robson Valley? With motion.
I think a phone call will clarify it, and we'll be able to craft the letter accordingly with that emphasis.
Okay, so do we need to modify the motion?
Yeah, I would modify it to say that to continue to offer work EC services in both McBride and Valemount.
Okay, I'll make the motion for a modification.
I'll second that.
So to amend the motion to include McBride, Valemount, and the Robson Valley?
And surrounding areas.
Robson Valley should take care of that, because they
Okay.
consider
Yeah.
both the
Okay.
valleys to be Robson Valley.
So McBride, Belmont, and Robson Valley.
Okay, thank you. Any other comment on the amended motion? Councillor Thompson?
It was sounding a little clunky. And so I was just going to suggest that perhaps there could be services in the Robson Valley with offices in McBride and Valemount. That pretty much says we want it in 2 locations, and we would still want to service the Robson Valley.
So with offices in McBride, Valemount, and the Robson Valley, or just in the Robson Valley?
McBride and Valemount.
McBride and Valemount.
We want services for the whole Robson Valley with offices in both McBride and Valemount.
All right, so you're moving that, I take it? And I need a seconder on the amendment to the amended motion. See, we're getting warmed up for UBCM here.
Okay, I'll second.
You'll second that? All right.
Just
Sure.
may make a point. So if would council not be in support of any of when we determine what the structure is for what they are their application? The funder determines the criteria for the application. Is council still in support of being able to support whatever their funding application is in the form that they have to apply? If you follow what I'm saying,
Yeah.
just based on similar comment that Mayor Martin had made.
I think we're getting kind of wordy when they've asked the Village of McBride for a motion for the Village of McBride. When we start amending and telling them to include offices in both McBride and Valemount, I kind of think we're overstepping our bounds. My goal for our citizens would to ensure that we have an office in McBride. All right, so does council have any responses to the CIO's question? Councillor Thompson?
So this is on the amended motion.
Yes.
Okay. So perhaps the motion is good as it sounds, but the letter should encourage them to have offices in McBride. and Valemount. But we will support we want to support these services continuing in the Robins Valley. We would like to see those services in both major communities.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that means she can go ahead either way, and which is what she's looking for. Okay, so,
So that being said, I would withdraw my amended motion
okay,
to go back to the original motion, as long as the letter includes that recommendation. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
okay. So that leaves us with the second amendment to include McBride and Valemount and the Robson Valley. So are you, that was moved by Councillor Green and Councillor Ruby. So are you in favor of
Going back to original.
going back to the original one and withdrawing the first amendment to the motion?
With
Councilor
the
Rubin.
understanding that the letter will specify, okay, then I am, right?
Yes.
Yes. Will you draw that one?
Okay, so the second one is withdrawn. So we're back to the main motion, which is that council provide a letter of support to the Robson Valley Sports Society for their application to continue to offer Work BC services in the Robson Valley. Moved by Councillor Green, seconded by Councillor Edwards. Is there any further discussion on the main motion? Call the question then, all in favor? Carried. All right, so we'll move on to items for information. Excuse me. We have a whole bunch listed there, so items A through I. So can we get a motion to receive items A, 8B, A through I for information?
Any of those?
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Page 4. We have some outgoing there, and we'll move on to bylaws, permits, and policies. So the first one is the zoning amendment bylaw number 780 point, is that supposed to be .2018 or comma?
Comma.
You put commas, okay. On page 55 on your agenda package, motion reads that council give the zoning amendment bylaw number 780, 2018 first and second reading, and further that council set a public hearing date for September 25th, 2018. Can I get,
That.
thank you, second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, discussion? Let me just get to the page. So, there we go. All right. So I do have actually a question for you, Sheila.
Sure.
So this has to do with the prohibition of retail marijuana sales and manufacturing in the municipality on a temporary basis until we can get our bylaws and
That's
our
correct.
OCP and our business
That's exactly
bylaws
it.
in place.
That's right.
My concern with this, it kind of talks about not using any building or land or waterway, and gives a whole list of what you can't do with cannabis at this time.
Mhm.
However, cannabis will become, other than medical marijuana, on October, I think it's 17th. So there will be online sales available,
That's right.
and it will, and so
The
this won't,
province will
that's
be
my
selling.
question, is this won't affect people that do it via online, and then it comes into the post office and uses
Right.
a property there for
Yeah.
it?
This has to do with them actually having a retail outlet, merging that with some other sales that they're doing, so that our gas station is not
Okay.
also selling retail cannabis sales. So it has nothing to do with consumption. Any one of us wants to go online and purchase with the province any type of cannabis products, that's available. That's different consumption versus what our bylaws, zoning bylaws, is outlining for the community for our land usage.
Okay, thank you. That answers
And
my question.
If I could,
Okay.
I do have the consultant taking a look at these, so we can make any changes prior to the third reading. So there may be some small tweaks with this. We were very clear on excluding retail cannabis sales. So just you know, sorry, and so I do have someone taking a look at it. Nothing's wrong with it. She's already told me that, but there might be just a few small tweaks. That's all. But nothing's wrong with what is presented here. But it does, yeah, anyone can purchase it and use it, just cannot sell it.
Yeah, cannot set up a store to sell.
Exactly,
Or alter a
merge
store.
it with
Okay.
current business.
Okay, that answers my question. Council have any other questions?
I think this is
Councilor?
one time that we don't want to be on the leading edge of something that somebody else figured out. It doesn't always pay to be cutting edge.
All right, any other questions or discussion? Okay, I'll call the question then. All in favor? Carried. All right, so now I'm gonna have to make a note. September 25th, we're also gonna have
That would be at 6 p.m.
at 6 p.m. Okay. And that's a public meeting, right?
Public hearing.
Public hearing. So is that going to be held here, or
Yeah.
will that be,
Yes, we'll have it. We'll hold it here.
what if there's more than 35 people that want to attend because we're only allowed to have 35 people in council chambers? Is it possible we would need the community hall?
Well, when we actually go through the consulting process and have public engagement, I would think we would.
But just a
Just for
public
the
hearing for-
hearing for a temporary bylaw that we're establishing, I mean, we will be advertising it following this
Okay.
meeting, but I wouldn't anticipate 35 people.
Okay.
I could be wrong. We'll figure.
Go inside.
Just sit in. All right, so we'll move on to the next one, which is the business license amendment bylaw 781,2018. Motion reads that council give the business license amendment bylaw 781,2018 first and second reading. Mover and a seconder, please. Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? No? Okay, I'll call the question then. All in favor? Carried. All right, so we'll move on to new business. This is on page 112 of your agenda package. A report to council on the building assessment report 848 First Avenue. Motion reads that council receive the report on 848 First Avenue. Can I get a mover and a seconder on receipt?
Move receipt.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor of receipt? Carried. Second motion reads that council direct administration to send a letter by registered mail to the property owners, giving the property owners 30 days to apply for a permit from the Village of McBride to demolish the structure and properly dispose of all materials resulting from such demolition, as well as proper disposal of all liquids within the structure, and that failure to do so may result in council imposing remedial action. A mover and seconder, please.
I'll move that.
Second.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Councillor Ruby?
Through the chair to administration, there may be some extenuating circumstances with this property that,
I'm aware of it.
okay.
Yeah. We need to follow up on this, and we will find out who to send a letter to. Who's ever in charge of the estate.
The estate,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? Call the question then. All in favor? Carried. Next item is from the lead agendas, the ribbon cutting ceremony. Administration has confirmed with the MLA Bonds Office that both she and Dorothy Titchener are available on Tuesday, September 18th at 11 a.m. to attend a ribbon cutting ceremony for the water intake project. MLA Bond's schedule is extremely full, and this is the only date and time she was available for September. Municipal Affairs and Housing will coordinate the news releases with the village. Motion reads that council approves schedule the ribbon cutting event for the Dominion Creek water intake replacement project for September 18th, 2018 at 11 a.m. Mover and a seconder.
I'll move that.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? And do we have, as everybody checking their calendars to make sure that they can attend that? So you'll be able to attend, I believe you said? You as well? Councillor Thompson? Okay. Councillor Edwards?
Yeah, we have the Kofi dinner that night.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So you'll have all of council there. I'll call the question then. All in favor? Carried. All right, so the next one is invitation to the RCMP local detachment and fire department to provide update to council. Administration has approached council, both Corporal Ushok and Fire Chief Ruby, regarding attending regular council meetings on a semi-annual basis to provide council with a report and update on village activities. Both parties would like to resume meeting with council on a regular basis to provide reports. Motion that administration on behalf of council invite both Corporal Ushok and Fire Chief Ruby to attend regular council meeting on September 25th or October 9th, 2018 as a delegation to provide an update on their activities and statistics. A mover and a seconder on that. Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Discussion?
Great idea. Sorry.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. Next one is UBCM schedule conflict Tuesday, September 11th, BC Assessment and the Ministry of Agriculture. Council has a scheduled meeting with BC Assessment on Tuesday, September 11th from 2:45 to 3:10 to discuss brownfield site in our community and brownfields not contributing to the Village of McBride tax base. There is also a scheduled meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture from 3 to 3:15 to discuss policy issues that are restricting farm gates to plates. Administration is requesting clarification from council as to which members would like to attend each meeting. Councillor Edwards.
I'll go to the farm gates to plates, the meeting with the Minister of Agriculture.
Okay. Councillor Ruby and then Councillor Thompson.
I'll do agriculture as well.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Thompson.
I'll do the brownfields with BC Assessment.
Thank you. Councillor Green.
I'll do the brownfields.
If only I could be in two places at once.
There's both of us.
So which one did you want to attend?
I think I would attend the brownfields.
I think
and
the
help
brownfields,
support Councillor Thompson.
Okay, so I'll have the CAO at the brownfields and then I will attend the other one. Okay, so you got that? Okay. The next one is another conflict with on September 11th with the Ministry of Education and the MIA-BC Annual General Meeting. Council has scheduled a meeting with the Minister of Education on Tuesday, September 11th from 4 to 4:15 to discuss rural and remote education sustainability and rural library funding level increases. The Municipal Insurance Association of BC's Annual General Meeting is also scheduled for September 11th from 4 to 5:30. Councillor Ruby is the MIA-BC voting delegate for McBride. Administration is requesting clarification from Mayor Martin, alternate number 1, and Councillor Thompson, alternate number 2, as to which meeting they would like to attend. So for myself, I would like to attend the Ministry of Education. Counselor Thompson?
I too would like to attend the Ministry of Education meeting.
Okay, and Counselor Ruby, you had your hand up?
I was just going to say that there's no reason for the alternates to need to come.
Right, yeah, I would
I'll
think
take
so.
copious notes.
Okay,
And then the rest of council would also be at the Minister of Education.
okay. All right, so we've got that one. The next scheduling conflict is Thursday, September 13th, Forestry Resource Breakfast and the LGMA CAO Breakfast. Counselor Edwards is scheduled for the Forestry Breakfast on Thursday, September 13th. Due to the LGMA CAO Breakfast scheduled for September 13th from 8 to 9 a.m., there is a seat available at the Forestry Resource Breakfast. Administration is requesting clarification from council as to which member would like to join Councillor Edwards at the Forestry Resource Breakfast. I can put my name up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And last but not least, a motion that in accordance with Section 91C, Labor Relations or other employed relations, and I, the receipt of advice that is subject to client solicitor privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Council move to a closed in-camera meeting. Mover and a seconder, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. And a motion that the open meeting be recessed at 7:41 p.m. in order to conduct the closed in-camera meeting.
Moved.
And second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. And thank you everyone for coming out. Right, so that takes care of that.